Morning. So I've been trying to figure out what is the best way that I can pull cards on video, and just with my current setups and that kind of thing. Um, I'm a little bit more limited than what I'd like to be, but anyway, so I've come up with this way to do it right now. In the future, I'll hopefully have different kind of setup, but bear with me as I get going here. So this is an Oracle deck that one of the first Oracle decks that I ever got. Denise Linn, she is an author and a Oracle deck creator through Hay House. I got certified through the Hay House program, and highly recommend if you're interested in it and that's something that you want to do. So I thought I'd go ahead and pull a card for the collective today. And I don't have this deck memorized. I have so many, I haven't had a chance to do that. So here's the guidebook, and I'll be reading from it. This is the deck that I used when I pulled a card for the Equinox, and I actually got the Equinox card, which was really interesting to me. So basically, I will offer gratitude for Denise for her experience and her knowledge and the way that she shares her wisdom. And then the way that I shuffle these kinds of decks, this is kind of too close, pull that back a bit. I just kind of go through like this. I just kind of move the cards around. Usually these cards are too big for me to actually shuffle like a card, a deck of playing cards or whatever. So I just kind of move them around. Sitting in my spirit, offering gratitude for the author, offering gratitude for the experiences and the wisdom that they have and that they're sharing with us. And I just kind of keep moving the cards and anchoring into what is it that I want to know, or what do I want some guidance with, or the knowing in cards is not necessarily a concrete knowing. It depends on who you ask. So the way that I use them, I usually will say the most common question that I will pose to cards is, what do I need to know right now? If it's a deck, like I have card decks that are created from like ancestors or angels or things like that I may say, who is guiding me, who's with me, who is working with me now. This one has this particular Oracle deck is set up with definitely a forest theme and forest creatures theme. And, in Denise's world, these different beings represent, guides for us. So I think I'm going to sit with a pretty central question that I usually ask, and that is, what do we need to know right now? And I'll just kind of spread the deck out, and often I grab the card in the middle. Sometimes I'll gravitate toward, a card at the upper or card lower. I'm just going to kind of be quiet here so I can feel into the deck. I usually pull from the bottom. Sometimes you'll get what's called a jumper card or a clarification card. So you'll get two cards stuck together. And, that usually means that you're getting a bonus message, or you're getting a message that's supplementing, something like that. So this is a card that I pulled for the collective, and the question being, what do we need to know right now? And this one is Stag Spirit Leadership. And if you can see on the card, there is a number at the bottom, 39. So that gives me, in her deck, that gives me the position of that card in the guidebook. And then I just go to that space in the guidebook, and then I'm just going to read it here. So one of the other things that I'll sometimes do before I actually read the guidebook is I'll take a look at this card, and I will look at the artwork on this card. If the author of the oracle deck or the tarot deck or whatever, if they themselves aren't the artist for the card deck, they will work very closely with the artists, and so every little detail within the card has meaning, and that's not always revealed. The meaning isn't always revealed in the in whatever the guidebook says in that narrative, but sometimes these authors will offer classes on their decks, and you can get more information about that. So when I look at this, the very first thing that comes to my mind is Bambi, honestly. So when I think of stag, that's my first ever knowing of a stag, and that was in the Disney movie Bambi. And I think of protector, I think of rescuer, that kind of stuff when I think about Bambi and what Stag's relationship was with Bambi in that particular movie. So let's see what Denise has to say about this card. And she writes a little kind of setting up the scene kind of narrative in the beginning. So this is her setting the scene. A majestic stag stands atop a mossy knoll. His nobility and grace are palpable. You can see fog form around his nostrils with his every exhalation. Exhalation, sorry about that. He does not need to announce his might. Simply and utterly he is powerful without words or proclamation. And then she goes on to give a little bit more insight, and then they'll have she has in here kind of the message of the particular card itself. So here's her insight. In many traditions, the elusive and mysterious white stag is considered king of the forest. With his noble antlers and his proud stance, he carries a commanding energy. This card is calling you to claim leadership of your life. Now is the time to step out of the shadows and become a beacon for others. Don't allow anyone or anything to dim your light. You may be asked to take on a position of authority. Even if you have been in the background in the past, this is your time to step up and shine. Remember that a leader isn't necessarily defined by age, status, or income. A true leader is someone who is commanding, passionate, and motivating. They have a vision and are able to make decisions with clarity and strength. The greatest leaders are those who know how to serve and act as stepping stones for others to reach their dreams. You empower others simply by being who you are, and who you are is enough. Are you willing to step into the light and be a leader for others? In European folklore, a white stag signifies extraordinary adventures. In others, the stag is a fairy beast that represents a quest for spiritual wisdom. These themes may appear in your life in the near future. And here's the message. The spirit of the stag says, you inspire others to greater heights. Step into leadership in your life. You are a beacon for others. Shine in your own life. Be gentle with yourself and others. However, do not play small. Take action. This is your time. Step up. And for those who may want to screenshot this or something, so I just want to offer the 3 deep breaths that we tend to practice. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being with me on this journey. As we take our 3 deep breaths, let us inhale something that we need in this moment. Let us exhale something, release something, let something go, set something aside so that we can be more present for our day. Will you breathe with me? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, bring something in that you need. Exhale, let something go. Last one, inhale. Exhale. I hope you all have the best day.